Bulls Nation, with all of the official free agency news that the Chicago Bulls has done with the two players that they've signed onto this team, and of course, all of the other news around the NBA, there is still a lot of rumors to be discussed about the Chicago Bulls and what's next for them in their free agency adventures. By no stretch of the means is this the end for the Chicago Bulls. It's only the first day for the Chicago Bulls, and we can still see a lot more deals go through for our team. We're going to be discussing some of the things that have already happened, some things that we would like to see happen, and obviously some rumors about the Chicago Bulls, some worries as well. Everything will be talked about in this video. Let's do it. What's going on, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today, we've got a Chicago Bulls related video referring to some of the news and rumors for the Chicago Bulls going forward. At the end of the day, we have seen Zach LaVine, we've seen Lonzo Ball, and we've seen Alex Caruso join the Chicago Bulls. And if you want to see my reactions to both of those videos, please feel free to check the description. If I do remember, I will leave the link. If not, you can go to the homepage and see my reaction of those two players joining the Chicago Bulls. And I'm very excited to see both of them, even though there is some controversy about Alex Caruso at the end of the day. I'm still very excited to see about both of them. But this is not really going to be in relation to those two players. This is going to be discussing the future for the Chicago Bulls now as we look forward in free agency. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about some of the potential news that could end up being a reality, or maybe the rumors that didn't end up working out. Let me know in the comments below about all of your things. Also, free agency is an ongoing experience, so if I have said something in this video that turns out to be right or wrong and maybe didn't work out. For example, if I talk about DeMar DeRozan in this video and it turns out DeMar DeRozan goes to the Heat and I'm still talking about him as a potential target, obviously it's an ongoing experience. Not everything can be live. It is going to be, there are going to be events like that where something's already happened and I'm still talking about it. So hopefully that makes sense and hopefully that's all understood and whatnot. But let's talk about the Chicago Bulls, ladies and gentlemen. Enough of the stalling. Let's talk about some Bulls news. So first thing I want to talk about is Daniel Theis, former Chicago Bulls player, now has officially agreed to join the Houston Rockets on a 4-year, $36 million contract. I believe that's around $9 million per season, which is a very good deal for the Houston Rockets. And the Chicago Bulls, it seems like, is part of a sign and trade for Daniel Theis going to the Houston Rockets. And I'm still very unsure about what exactly is the whole trade. But from what I understand, this is potentially a three-way trade from the Los Angeles Lakers to the Houston Rockets and the Chicago Bulls, which also is involved, I believe, in our Alex Caruso free agency signing. So it looks like we get a trade exception, I believe, or maybe the Lakers get a trade exception. We also get an exception, and they get Daniel Theis from us, the Houston Rockets. We get Alex Caruso from the Lakers. I believe that's what's going to happen in terms of this three-way trade. I don't think it's confirmed yet. I'm not sure if that's the actual trade that's happened, but that is the one that's being rumored around the league. So let's see what will end up happening with that. Overall, Daniel Theis is a big loss, and the fact that we still had enough money to sign him, many people have that argument, and that's a very valid argument to have. Considering that he's getting paid $9 million a season, we had the money to re-sign Daniel Theis, and we chose not to do it. So many people are upset about that, because at the end of the day, Daniel Theis has a lot of strengths that we could use, especially defensively. Even in the center position right now, we have a weak link in the backup center position that just hasn't been filled yet. And Daniel Theis could have been that player. However, I don't know if it was the Bulls' decision or Daniel Theis' decision, but the decision has been made, and the Houston Rockets is Daniel Theis' destination. Many people arguing that the Rockets don't need a center. I truly believe they did need a center. I don't think Chris Wood is going to be a terrific center, and this allows him to play in his natural position, the position in which he played his best basketball, the power forward position. and that's all fine and good. Daniel Theis is a very solid center for them. I think they're going to be very happy with a player like Daniel Theis, as we have been, as the Celtics have been. He's a very solid player. I feel like they'll get what they want out of Daniel Theis. So hopefully the Rockets enjoy that. We get Alex Caruso. I'm sure we will enjoy that as well. And we'll see what happens down the line. That's a very good move for the Houston Rockets, in my opinion. And for those people that are angry that we didn't sign Daniel Theis, I truly think there's a valid argument there. We could and probably should have re-signed Daniel Theis, but our free agency window isn't over. Maybe there is something better in store for us. We'll wait and see. Moving on into some official news around the league that does affect what we've been talking about for the Chicago Bulls. We've talked about a lot of targets in terms of the point guard position, in terms of the center position and whatnot. And the main targets we've talked about, first off, is Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose has officially re-signed for the New York Knicks, making around $14 million or $14.3 million a season for, I believe, 3 years. Let's be honest. I don't think Chicago Bulls were comfortable paying Derrick Rose that amount of money. I think that's a very good amount of money for Derrick Rose. He finally got more than, I guess, the $7 million that he's been getting for quite some time now. So Derrick Rose got pretty much a double in his salary, which good for Derrick Rose. I think we're all very happy for Derrick Rose. At the end of the day, it's not something. Of course, we would like to see him on the Chicago Bulls. It's not always going to be working out for the Bulls, and I feel like he would have given us something. I'm not going to lie, but he did get paid. He did go to the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks seem to have re-signed a lot of their players, and Derrick Rose is part of that. So don't fix a formula that I guess ain't broken. And maybe we'll see really what the Knicks are all about. If they can make that 4th seed again, then they're kind of establishing themselves as a dominant team in the NBA. If they seem to have a little bit of a drop-off, then they might have made a mistake in re-signing all those players and not adding some more depth into the team. We'll see with the New York Knicks, but I feel like most New York Knicks fans are very excited to have Derrick Rose back. He performed very well for them. He stepped up in the playoffs a lot. It makes sense to have Derrick Rose back. That was always going to be the likely favorites. Of course, Chicago was an option. I still feel like he listened to the Chicago Bulls. However, the Knicks was a better situation for him, and he's playing for the New York Knicks now, and we'll see what happens down the line for his future. Also, we talked about JaVale McGee yesterday. JaVale McGee is officially a Phoenix Suns player. He signed a 1-year, $5 million deal. This sucks for the Chicago Bulls, considering JaVale McGee was a very cheap option. $5 million is not much in terms of the quality that you're getting with JaVale McGee. And he could have been a very good, solid backup center for us. He went to the Phoenix Suns. He went to a team that is probably still in contention for a championship next season. So at the end of the day, it's a very good situation for JaVale McGee. He seems to be a player that wants to go to contending teams. And we've seen that over the course of the years with Lakers, Warriors, Denver. All of these teams are very close or are very good teams that are trying to compete for championships. So JaVale McGee seems to be one of those players that wants to be in that situation most of the time. So fair play to JaVale McGee. We'll see how it goes down the line. Good luck to him at the Phoenix Suns. I think that's a good destination for him. A good backup center for the Phoenix Suns to have. And again, yeah, we'll see how it goes with the Phoenix Suns. I wouldn't say I'm overly excited. It's JaVale McGee, but yeah, I'm somewhat keen to see how he would play for the Phoenix Suns. Next up, we've got DeMar DeRozan, ladies and gentlemen. As we all know, we've made trades we made sign-in trades. We've also made free agency moves for Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso, none of which is discussing about Larry Markkanen or potentially even Kobe White as a sign-and-trade deal for DeMar DeRozan. We still have Kobe White on the team. We still have Larry Markkanen on the team. And these two players have been strongly linked around trades to get maybe a DeMar DeRozan type player. DeMar DeRozan on this team would be absolutely sensational. I think that's just the best way to say it. DeMar DeRozan on this team will take us from that playoff team that we are probably in now. We probably will I think we'll make the playoffs with Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso on this team. DeMar DeRozan will take us a step beyond that. And that's all we want. We want to be a team that competes. We want to be a team that can win now. Not necessarily compete for a championship straight away. That will come with time. That will come with more players seeing the project of the Chicago Bulls. And if people see the project, they'll be more willing to invest in that project. They give themselves into that project, and maybe we can compete for a championship then. But bringing a player like DeMar DeRozan in now gives you all the signs in the world that the Chicago Bulls are done messing around and they want to win They want to win. They want to win championships. They want to compete with other teams in the East. That's what Arturius' plan has been. He's been very upfront about it, that he plans to be a winning team. He wants to be a relentlessly good winning team. And he's done that with teams like the Denver Nuggets before. He's had help, and now he's doing it for the Chicago Bulls. DeMar DeRozan in this team is a very good step in that direction. And it's a fantastic move. And the fact that we would be giving up Larry Markkinen potentially as a sign and trade option, a player that we're not necessarily too keen on having for the Chicago Bulls, let's just say it's very good business that we've been doing so far, in my opinion. Again, the fact that Daniel Theis is not here is very upsetting, and that could definitely be, I guess, a negative point for people in relation to Arturius Eversley in the front office. Obviously, it's not all been sunshines and rainbows. However, it's been very solid, and I think it's going to be good for the Chicago Bulls if we could try and pull off a sign and trade for DeMar DeRozan. The fact that they signed Zach Collins does make this more difficult, but I don't think it's impossible. They also signed Doug McDermott. It becomes harder for sure, and it's definitely not a guarantee, and we could potentially still be trying to do this. However, it is unlikely. I believe it's more unlikely now than when free agency started. However, the Bulls, they won't amaze me. They won't surprise me. They could get this done, and I won't be surprised anymore, because they've done a lot of things that really make us excited, but also we have a good front office now, in my opinion. So I'm not too surprised about these things. And speaking of the guard situation, with acquiring Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso, we now have a luxury of guards on this team. And unfortunately, all these guards do need playing time. So we signed Lonzo Ball. We all expect Lonzo Ball to be the starting point guard coming into the next season. And I think that's well expected. And considering the money that he's getting paid, it would make sense that he starts the season for us in the upcoming season for the Chicago Bulls. Alex Caruso signed, a defensive-minded player, obviously signed for a reason. There's no way Alex Caruso does not get game time on this team. Simple as that. He fits a role. He kind of fits the Garrett Temple mold of player, a very good defensive player that could do a lot of things on the floor. This makes a lot of sense. I don't see that the issue of Alex Caruso not getting game time. Ayo Dosunmu, a player that just got drafted by the Chicago Bulls, second round, has a load of potential in my opinion. Someone that seems to have a very good work ethic, a very strong mentality, and a player that could definitely help us go to the next level. He needs to be given a chance. I don't want to see what's been happening with him for Devin Dotson, where he gets no chances and he ends up just going to the G League. I don't want to see that happen with Ayo Dosunmu, because I believe there's something about him that makes him special. And we need to see how that goes. Summer League will be the indication of what I think his future is for the Chicago Bulls. If he performs well, he'll get a chance on the roster, I believe. Devin Dotson, G League player. He's still on a two-way contract, so I guess Devin Dotson's probably going to take a big hit here and he's not going to be playing on the team. That's just my guess at this point in time. Things can change, obviously, injuries and whatnot. That can give Devin Dotson that chance that I think we all want him to have. And Coby White. Coby White's a strong one because there's a lot of trade rumors hitting around about Coby White, and I personally don't see Coby White getting traded anytime soon unless it is for a potential DeMar DeRozan sign and trade. And if that's the case, we'll talk about that when it comes. I'm not going to give my opinion on that at the moment because I still feel that's pretty unlikely. But Coby White is someone I say we wait and see on. I don't see him getting traded in the free agency period. I see him, if he's not getting any game time, if he's not living up to the standards, he potentially gets traded before the trade deadline. That's what I see happening with Coby White. But at the end of the day, all of these guards deserve opportunities. All of these guards deserve a chance. And the harsh reality is, not every guard's going to get that chance. Devin Dotson, I don't think is going to get a chance on this team next season because of the amount of guards that we have. I see him being, again, part of the G League, which many people might disagree with. Ayo Dosunmu, as good as I think he can be, he's a bench player and he might not be given a chance because we might go with a player that's already been in the league in Coby White. and we might give him more of that chance than Aidan. Aidan deserves a chance. Coby White deserves a chance. He could be a very solid six man for us. Many people want to see Coby White as a six man because that was his best role for the Chicago Bulls in his first year. He never started. He started maybe one game, I believe. And his best priority was the sixth man, a scoring sixth man. If Coby White can become that again, we've got a very good player on our hands. So at the end of the day, so many guards and so little positions. We still have Troy Brown Jr. as well that could potentially be seen as a guard. We still have a lot of things to worry about in that guard position. I am very concerned I'm interested at least to see what's going to happen in that guard situation. And we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm going to end this video here. This is all of the things I feel necessary to talk about at the moment. We still need a backup center. JaVale McGee obviously left. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Maybe we're going all in for Marco being a backup center. Look, if he shines, he shines. If not, then we should have went for a backup center. Hindsight's going to be the thing here when it comes to Marco and the backup center position, unless we do get a backup center going in free agency, if we still can. There's not many options left. Andre Drummond's still a free agent, but I don't think he'll settle as a backup. And yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this. Have a wonderful and safe day, Bulls Nation. Thank you for all the support and enjoy this moment. Enjoy Lonzo being on the team. That's the main target we've been looking at for more than 6 months, probably close to a year now. Many of us were talking about a potential of Lonzo Ball coming to the team, and now it's coming to fruition. So be very happy with your front office about that, and be very happy that we have a player that we can clearly see a future direction going in, and that is beautiful to see. I've not seen that in a long time for the Chicago Bulls. I'm very happy about it. Have a wonderful and safe day, Bulls Nation. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more Chicago Bulls videos. Take care and peace.